You've probably seen stories go viral online, right? But how does a messy social media scandal from Indonesia end up becoming a record-breaking global film? Well, the answer isn't just a good story. It's about a very specific and honestly pretty surprising creative vision. It all comes down to this one single idea from the producer Manoj Punjabi. Now, think about that for a second. For a story about infidelity, that's a wildly empathetic take. And that one thought, well, it became the North Star for the entire film, transforming what could have been just another scandal into this really complex human drama. So the big question is, how did this kind of counterintuitive philosophy, blaming the circumstance, not the individual, become the secret sauce for a massive blockbuster? Let's dig in and trace exactly how they pulled it off. Okay, so Section 1, a vision beyond viral. Look, when this story first exploded online, what did everyone see? Just a viral scandal, right? Juicy gossip. But here's the thing. While everyone else was seeing a simple scandal, producer Manoj Punjabi, he saw something totally different. He saw a powerful social portrait, a story about how, fragile we can all be when we're put under a crazy amount of pressure. All right, so you've got this big, ambitious idea. But how do you actually turn that into a brilliant film? Well, as we're about to see in Section 2, the answer is a really, really relentless, hands-on, and perfectionist approach. Get this, 15. That's how many drafts the script went through. 15. And every single one was under Punjabi's direct supervision. So you can see this was not some rush job trying to cash in on the latest internet hype. No way. This was a slow, meticulous process of digging way, way deeper to make sure this story moved far beyond its sensationalist roots. And this quote from their creative meetings really says it all, doesn't it? The goal was never to just point fingers and say, he's the bad guy. It was about exploring that heartbreaking chain of events, how things can spiral and completely shatter a family from the inside out. So this obsession with nuance, with getting it just right, it led them to what was probably the single most important creative choice they made. It all boiled down to one thing: completely reinventing the character of Aris, the cheating husband. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. See, the public already had a template for a character like Aris from another big story. That guy was your classic villain, cunning, intentional, easy to hate. But Punjabi's vision for this Aris was the complete opposite. He wasn't some evil genius. He was naive, almost weak, really. A flawed human being who just completely crumbled under the pressure. And that one change, wow, that transformed him from a character you simply hate into a moral dilemma that you just can't look away from. Okay, so Section 3, a phenomenal success. The big question is, did this risky, nuanced approach actually work? Did audiences buy it? Oh yeah, absolutely. All that hard work, that unique vision, it was validated in a huge, huge way. I mean, the film didn't just do well, it absolutely exploded out of the gate. The momentum was just immediate. 1 million viewers in just 5 days. That's insane. And it didn't slow down. It just kept picking up speed. 2 weeks in, that number had tripled. 3 million viewers. Just incredible. By the end of its run in Indonesia, the final tally was a massive 4.77 million viewers. It wasn't just a hit movie anymore. It was a full-blown national phenomenon. And just to put that number into perspective for you, that's big enough to be historic. We're talking about a film that blew past legendary Indonesian blockbusters, movies like Laskar Pelangi and Habibie and Ainun. It literally carved out a spot for itself on the all-time list. Wow. But the success was way bigger than just ticket sales. The film became this cultural touchstone. The title itself, which basically means a sibling-in-law is death, it became a viral meme. People started making their own versions, like late salary is death or speeding is death. It was everywhere. The story was just so powerful, it literally started promoting itself. That's when you know you've got something special. And this thing wasn't just a local hit. Nope. The phenomenon went global. As soon as it landed on Netflix, bam, #1 in Indonesia. and it stayed there for over a month. But here's the kicker. In its very first week, it broke into the global top 10 for non-English films. That's the moment you realize this vision, this story, it's truly universal.
So moving into our final section, the true storyteller. When you step back and look at the whole picture, the box office numbers, the viral memes, the global Netflix charts, every single piece of it traces right back to that one core idea from the producer.
Yeah, this wasn't some lucky break. It wasn't an accident. This record-breaking success was the direct result of a creative philosophy. A philosophy that chose empathy over outrage, and complexity over some simple, one-dimensional caricature. And I think Punjabi himself really summed it up perfectly. He said, great films are born from great stories, and great stories are born from the courage to see people as they are. And man, if this film isn't a testament to that exact kind of courage, I don't know what is. Which kind of leaves us with one final thing to chew on. We live in an age of constant viral content, right? So what's the real difference between a story that just exploits a situation for clicks and one that actually tries to explain something deeper about the human condition? I think this film, it might just hold the answer.